Welcome. You're listening to the University of Akron Marketing Podcast, sponsored by S3 Technologies.
All right, so hello. My name is Bryson Fry, and my platform that I decided to go with is called Sideline. Essentially, it is a platform specifically for sports fans. It is something that brings them together whenever they can talk through games, specifically with live game threads where you can react play by play. You can create and share highlights rather than waiting for platforms like ESPN, Bleacher Report, creating their own highlights. You have to wait for them to come out. You can create your own content as a fan. And you can have fan leagues where you get recognition and awards for attending and being active on that. Specifically, target market is going to be people around my age, high teens, maybe into the 30s, just big sports fans looking for community and looking to conversate with one another. My inspiration behind doing this was, for one, I'm a huge sports fan. It's something that's been a part of me for my whole life now. I've played sports. I've watched sports throughout my whole life. So it's just kind of been something that whenever we got introduced to this project idea, I knew I wanted to do a platform regarding sports because that's just something that's, for me, that's just something that came easy to me. It's literally my major. I'm a sport business major. So I knew this was something I wanted to do. Then also with that, I wanted to build a better fan experience. So like I said before, when ESPN, Bleacher Report puts out their highlights from games and stuff like that, you don't really have a way to conversate and talk about it. Through this platform, you're going to be able to do that with the fan-created content. You can sit there and have conversations about that. And then also, I feel like in the sports world, there's a lot of hate that goes on within that. A lot of fans don't understand that the players are people as well, and they really only evaluate them on their player performance. So within this platform, it's going to be filtered to where you can't really have the hate messages. It's going to be a lot of positivity because, like I said before, the players are people as well. They don't just go out on the field and that's all they do with their lives. They do outside. They do other things outside of that. So I try to filter out all the hate. The next thing is how Sideline differentiates themselves between other competing apps like ESPN and Bleacher Report. I've kind of already touched on it, but competitors really only rely strictly on the highlights. They don't really care about how the people think. They just want to get them out there because that's what their jobs are. With this, you can have conversations amongst what's getting posted on there. Next, I have built for fans, not broadcasters. Same thing like I said before. The fans are the lead, not the content that's being posted. The fans are the lead of this, so they get to kind of move how they want to move. They don't have to wait for other stuff to be posted. They could do everything themselves because they are the leaders of the platform. Then real-time interaction. You get to meet people all around the world. Meet people all around the world that are also the same fan of the same team as you. So it's just kind of nice to be able to meet people all throughout the world and be able to have conversations about sports that you don't get to do every day. Next, we have implications towards marketers and consumers when it comes to this platform. For marketers, I feel like you can reach niche communities that are kind of overlooked and not favored by many people. I feel like you could be able to build tight-knit communities amongst that you wouldn't be able to do anywhere else, but you can, with the lower name sports, you'd be able to build the community up using this platform. Also, just engagement opportunities. I feel like if you get deals with the bigger name sports, you'll be able to advertise this platform during their games and run campaigns through it. For consumers, it's just a healthier, more interactive fan space. And you get to build a true community for celebrating your passion with your team and your sport. The short and long-term vision I have for this is, for the short term, I would love to rely strictly on the college sports because I feel like when you get into pro sports, a lot of people are bandwagoners, and it's kind of hard to tell who has really been loyal to their team and stays true to their team. When it comes to college, you really just stick to your one university that you're that you're rooting for. You don't really change past that. The communities are a lot more tight knit. They're a lot more passionate about the game, and so I feel like I'd stick with them to be able to know how successful this platform really can be. And then also I would test the features like creating the highlights and being able to have the fan leagues where you're rewarded for being active on there and having your hot takes or your predictions for upcoming games, stuff like that. In the long term, the one issue with this is that you'd have to get the official content from the pro leagues and collegiate sports, you'd have to partner up with them, make a deal with them to be able to use their content because you wouldn't be able to copyright their stuff that they make themselves. And then lastly, a good thing that maybe would be good for the long term would be VR, having some virtual reality stuff amongst the app where you're able to picture yourself in the stadium with all these other people when you're not actually there. You're sitting in the seat of a stadium watching the game when you're not actually there. I feel like that'd be a really good tool to help people like really recognize how cool this platform could be. Finally, Sideline, I feel like it's a really good opportunity to build true community within the sport again. There's a lot of hate in the sport, and I feel like having that healthier conversations about the sport in the games and stuff like that would really help the sport itself. It brings the energy of a stadium into a digital space. Yeah, so that's all I got. I feel like Sideline would be the perfect opportunity in the sports space to build that community up again. So thank you.